Have you noticed that recently it's a lot harder to concentrate on long form content that can expand and help you grow out of the paradigm you're currently living in? Well, I've noticed this in myself starting about a year ago, and it was due to me watching short form content, eating processed foods, being around negative influences, and not sleeping in a dark environment. But since then, I've been able to travel a lot more, been able to experience life to its fullest, and most importantly, I've been able to expand my mind and learn faster, remember things for a longer period of time, and be able to actually concentrate on videos and information that will help me grow. And I attribute all of this to one of my favorite routines that I do during the week, and that I'm going to suggest that you start doing if you haven't already began this amazing thing. And this habit is once a week going to my local library and setting aside at least 6 hours to just skim through the most interesting books that are in the store. And while there's a time and a place to read comic books and fiction books, I love those things, and there's definitely a time and a place for that. I dedicate this 6 hours to reading books on nutrition, health, how to grow a business, how to grow your brain, and the nutrients that are vital in order to keep your neural pathways and the synaptic pathways that are forming functioning at a proper level, and how to basically optimize everything that you need in order to live the best life you can. And I'd highly recommend that if you haven't already started doing this, to maybe, if you don't have the time, at least set aside 1 hour a day or 1 hour during the week to just check out your local library. Go in, just see what they have, see what piques your interest. That's not fiction, that's not comedy, that kind of stretches you and challenges your mind and forces you, which it forced me at first because I wasn't used to it, to sit down and pay attention to kind of long form, boring information, and will hopefully be a long-term investment in my future. The best thing about this, and with libraries, instead of checking out the book if money's tight for you right now, is when you sit there for 2 to 3 hours or however long you have to spend there, just at least try to step in there to form that habit of going to the library before you dedicate X amount of time going there, is you can sit and read for as long as you want in a quiet environment. Hopefully it's quiet, they maybe play a little jazz or whatever, but you can dedicate that time without spending money to expand your knowledge base and learn. And the thing I like about libraries and books now that I'm not in school, graduated college already and all of that, is I get to read and focus on everything that interests me now. And it's just a magical experience. A lot of you guys that don't like to read, it's because, and this is the same thing for me, I didn't like reading because in school you're forced to read about all this historical information that is helpful, learning like historical patterns and what to look out for. We could use a lot of that moving forward with the direction of the world. But a lot of it's kind of mundane drivel that's handed down from the establishment to the school curriculum to basically create better drones for these big corporations. But when you're able to read on your own, or you're able to choose the books that actually spark your interest, you're able to just really love reading and learning because you're creating, in a sense, your own curriculum and you're your own teacher. And it's just an amazing thing. And you'll find yourself, even if you start reading 1 hour a week, just beginning to read 2 hours, then 3 hours. Then before you know it, you'll literally spend a lot of your days just reading, especially at night, instead of watching YouTube or Netflix or going out to the bar, the club, or trash talking people. You'll want to read, you'll want to gather more information and just expand what's possible, and learn about autobiographies from all these amazing people. It's just something that's super magical, and I really want to instill in this video the power of reading. It's truly transformed my life. I know if you're watching this video, you're meant to see this video. Definitely start today. Just go to your local library, go sit down, see what kind of books they have, see what sparks your interest, and pick up a couple books on philosophy, business, health, which is so vitally important today that you understand, because there's just a lack of micronutrients in our food, and it looks like it's being done almost intentionally for profit by a lot of these corporations. I'm not going to go too deep into that, but it's vitally important that you really pay attention to your health and what's going into your mouth, what you're consuming, what you're drinking. All these different things are extremely important, especially if you're tired of looping and doing the same thing every day and you want to break free from the system that's depressing you, making you anxious, and scaring you on purpose. So I'd highly recommend taking that 1 to 3 hours one time per week and just going to the library, setting aside that time to just sit down and read and expand your knowledge, learn what's actually going on in the world, learn how to get out of this matrix, what nutrients you need in your body to actually fully function and be able to focus on long form content. Because everything from the food to the air to the water quality to the media that's being put out there is all meant to drain your attention span. And then when you don't have a long attention span, you can't even concentrate on information that's actually going to help you get out of this trap that we're in, because that's really what it is. So comment below what books interest you the most, what genre of books interest you the most, and if you're willing to set aside the time to do this, because your life quite literally is going to depend on it in the near future. I love you all. Stay blessed.